What's the moment you realize someone in your family should never be allowed near vulnerable kids? My older sister Melissa always acted like she was this exhausted supermom who sacrificed everything for her family. If you only saw her Facebook posts, you'd think she deserved an award. Cute lunches for the kids, inspirational parenting quotes, family photos at pumpkin patches, the whole perfect mom image. But living with her was a completely different story. When I was 19, I stayed at her house for 6 months after losing my apartment. At first, she acted supportive, said I could focus on getting back on my feet. That lasted maybe 3 days. After that, I became free labor. I woke her kids up for school, packed lunches, cleaned the kitchen, folded laundry, watched the kids while she went out with friends, even helped her run this little online candle business she started during quarantine. If I ever complained, she'd hit me with, "Families help each other." The worst part was she'd act generous in public, while privately treating people like employees she didn't have to pay. Eventually, I moved out and barely spoke to her after that. Honestly, distance made life peaceful. Then last year, she started talking nonstop about fostering. At first, I thought it sounded nice, but then she got weirdly specific. She said she only wanted an older teenager, preferably someone quiet and obedient. That wording immediately set off alarms in my head. One night during dinner, she explained her plan like it was completely normal. She said younger kids were too much work, but teenagers were perfect because they could babysit, help around the house, and earn their keep. I laughed because I genuinely thought she was joking. She wasn't. She literally said foster teens should feel lucky just to have a roof over their heads, so asking them to clean, cook, and help raise her kids was fair. She even talked about having them help pack orders for her candle business after school. Then she said the sentence that made me feel sick. They age out at 18 anyway, so if one leaves, you can always get another. Another. Like she was talking about replacing a broken appliance. I told her that wasn't fostering. That was exploiting vulnerable kids who had nowhere else to go. She rolled her eyes and called me dramatic. Yeah, it gets worse. A month later, I got a call from a woman introducing herself as a foster care waste worker. Apparently, Melissa had listed me as a personal reference on her application without even asking me. The woman asked if I believed Melissa would provide a safe and supportive environment for a teenager. I could have lied. Honestly, part of me wanted to avoid the drama. But then I kept imagining some scared 16-year-old getting trapped in that house the same way I was, except they wouldn't have anywhere else to go. So I told the truth. I told her how Melissa treated me like unpaid staff, how she constantly manipulated people with guilt, how she specifically wanted foster teens because they were old enough to be useful. The caseworker got very quiet after that. She thanked me and ended the call. 3 days later, Melissa showed up at my apartment absolutely furious. Apparently, her application had been denied after the home review process. She started screaming that I sabotaged her future and ruined her chance to help children. Finally, I snapped. I didn't want to help kids, I told her. You wanted servants who couldn't leave. She went completely silent after that, just stared at me like she'd never expected someone to say it out loud. We haven't spoken in almost a year now, and honestly, if telling the truth kept even one vulnerable kid out of that house, I'd do it again in a heartbeat.